No, it's this epic disaster. I am raspy.
You are raspy.
Very raspy. I don't know why. It's not my name, by the way.
No, it's Rick.
I'm not. That's not my name. But allergies.
Raspy Rick.
Been really, really bad. So I'm gonna be very raspy today.
The grass pollen is high right now.
Yeah, it's been my eyes, everything really bad. But how the heck are you, everyone out there?
How you guys doing?
Thanks for joining us on this podcast and not someone else's podcast.
Because we're more special.
Well, not only that, but if you were looking for us on someone else's podcast,
We
I'm
wouldn't
afraid
either.
you would not find us.
Although you can find past episodes of a certain podcast that we have been on.
Which one?
I've been on Earth Station Who?
Yeah, you know what? As long as I've been podcasting, I think I've only been on one other podcast. I've only had an invitation. We've been doing this for like 6 years or more. And,
Yeah.
And no one, you've been on several. No one asked me to be on a podcast. No one wants me on there. Maybe it's because I'm raspy.
Raspy Rick.
I guess.
No, you were on the podcast Earth Station 1.
But that's when we were doing the other podcast. But
Right.
they had us on right after we joined their
The ESO network.
their network. They
Yep.
had us kind of an introduction.
Right.
And then last year we did the Halloween. 2 years ago we did the Halloween show
With them.
together. So
In
we
tandem.
shared a thing.
Yes,
that's
that
the only
was
time
fun.
I've been on another podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, no one wants me on a podcast. Screw you out there, everybody.
Hey,
now they'll never want me on.
They don't want you now. That's
Like,
that's
I have-
mean.
Yeah, I have a syndrome. I just start
it's not
yelling
Tourette's.
that.
You
No.
do not have Tourette's.
No.
You have a mean-spirited attitude.
Our beer today is nothing
Because
because we don't have one.
the reason we don't have one is because we did a Zoom
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah, and I didn't really think of that much because we usually record a show on Tuesday.
You're right.
And then we release the show on Monday. So that gives me plenty of time, under most circumstances, to do editing and everything that needs to be done.
Right.
And then also sometimes one of us gets sick or something
have to
happens and we have to
postpone.
put it off, and that gives us plenty of time to kind of change it out. So the way it worked this time was, since we did the Evil show on Monday, that was last night. Today's Tuesday. So we, if you don't know, I drank a 6-pack of beer.
In 30 minutes.
No, it was an hour.
No, it was 30 minutes.
No, it wasn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It felt like you were done so fast.
I finished so I started the beer immediately when
At
we
8
started the
o'clock.
podcast, which was 8:06.
The Zoom,
Yeah.
not the podcast.
Well, the Zoomcast, yeah.
Yeah.
And I finished the last bit of the beer on 8:59.
Okay, so exactly
almost
an hour.
exactly an hour.
But under an hour.
Yeah, barely, yeah.
But I know that you finished at least 3 of them within the first 30 minutes because you were
Yeah,
sucking those
oh
down.
yeah, and I did it on purpose. So we'll discuss that, and let's play a game of Would You Rather.
Okay.
And then we'll do a little discussion about that. I kind of want to talk about the experience and why I did it.
Okay, I'm going to drop a stone first, and
Drop
you're going
it.
to read. You got glasses?
I do.
Okay. We need our glasses because we're old people.
All right, green. I'm gonna drop green. How about dropping one?
Let me see if my hand works properly.
All right,
It's
yellow is random.
Yes.
Would you rather find out that while drunk the night before,
Oh, dear.
you flashed the elderly woman who lives next door to you,
Oh, I do that regularly.
or that you pounded the hell out of your own car with a hammer?
Flashed. I don't. You can see my titties. I don't care.
Who can?
Oh, the lady next door.
Oh,
And she has, as a matter of
I
fact.
mean, it would take a lot to make me want to not do something other than pound my car with a hammer.
Right?
I don't think I would want to do that.
No, that doesn't sound like a fun adventure.
Like now, if I flashed the old lady next door, I'd probably go to jail. That wouldn't be cool.
Well, I could go to jail too. It's still indecent exposure.
Maybe, but I think they're a little more strict with dudes.
Probably.
Especially flashing old ladies.
Probably.
If you did it, they'd be like, look, ma'am, don't do that anymore.
But you know what?
But me, they'd be like, come on, let's go. We're going to jail.
I don't think my landlord's going to appreciate being called an old lady.
Well, I mean, this is all hypothetical. Okay. All right, I'm dropping it today. Whoa, I just dropped 2 of them on the floor.
Go pick them up. You got to bend over.
I got them.
Okay.
That was close. All right, here we go. Gonna drop stone.
Green. Green stands for ethics and intellect. Mm-hmm. Would you rather be the sole survivor of a nuclear war or be the person who pushed the button on the missile silos to start a nuclear attack?
I'll do that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just want to get shit over with.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be the sole survivor. I mean, that would suck. Not only that, but you're not going to last long because...
How do you get your food?
Well, yeah, I mean, you get the food by just walking into the grocery store and getting it, because who's going to arrest you? But
right, but that's going to run out.
But there are things that have to be maintained that I don't know how to maintain that are eventually going to fail and cause a lot of problems,
like electricity,
or I'm thinking like a nuclear power plant. Or things like that.
They will then explode.
And yeah, there's going to be major issues, and it'll be worse. I mean, we're talking about sewage plants and stuff. I mean, it's going to be big problems. I don't want to be having to somehow like if I was the only person, I would want to go to some like remote island or something so I can get away from everything, because the world is just really it's going to just kind of fall apart.
Well, yeah, because no one's there to maintain the infrastructure that we've created.
Yeah.
But remember this: if you go to a remote island, you still have to feed yourself, so you'll likely be fishing.
Yeah, that's fine.
And growing things.
I have access to all the best fish equipment. I have access to boats, canoes.
Yeah.
Everything is mine at that point.
Right. But you think about if those nuclear reactors do explode or leak or whatever they do, it's going to get into the water. Yeah. So the fish that you're catching will be...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Radiated.
It's not going to be a good situation. Yeah. So I would rather just start it.
Just start the shit.
Yeah, because if I'm starting it, there's still going to be people there. And plus, if I'm starting it, most likely... it's against my enemies.
Yeah.
So they deserve to die anyway.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Good talk.
All right. So yeah, last night we did a Zoom. We want to give our appreciation to the people who came and hanged out with us.
You still affected by that 6-pack?
No, that was what I want to talk about. I honestly, it didn't. And I didn't expect it to. I mean, I've had a 6-pack of beer before.
Right.
And when I was really younger, and that was the whole thing, is I wanted to see how my body would handle it, compared to how it handled it when I was younger. Because I sort of remember. And I know when I was a very inexperienced drinker, just a few beers can get you floating,
Yeah.
But, after I drank beers for a while, I would say 4 or 5, I started starting to be buzzed. And then, 6 was fine. And I rarely had 6, but sometimes if you're at a longer party, you're going to have 6. But I just wanted to see what would happen. I haven't done that in so long. I haven't had a 6-pack of beer. I don't usually drink more than 1. And a lot of times not even a full one.
So within the hour and a half Zoom that we did, you had to get up and go use the restroom twice.
One time, I thought. Was it twice?
It was twice.
Okay.
Yeah, which is fine. But you didn't break the seal, if you will, until you were on number 5.
Yeah. So honestly, there was just... So let me just go back and just say I felt very little anyway, intoxication effects. So I didn't hardly even feel buzzed.
Right.
What I did feel was incredibly uncomfortable.
Bloated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I did a dumb thing before I did it. And I knew I shouldn't have done it, but my wife made shrimp tacos and I was just like, all right, I'll just have one.
And then you were like, all right, I'll just have another.
So I had 2. And I was planning on not having anything,
right?
And I should have gone with that.
Yeah.
I think if I had done that, I wouldn't have felt anything. I think I'd be fine.
But the problem is that when you were done having the 6-pack, you wouldn't want to eat. So then you wouldn't have eaten at all.
And that's fine.
And
I could certainly go without
a
meal.
But drinking that much alcohol in one sitting, it's good to have something in your stomach.
I guess, but it was just uncomfortable. I can remember maybe 3, close to 4, I started feeling pressure in my stomach. And that's one of the reasons why I got up. Even though I did have to go to the restroom, I just wanted to stretch out and let everything kind of move around in there.
Yeah.
And that, that and some burps kind of helped.
And there were a few on the Zoom.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry about that. But we had an amazing discussion on the Zoom.
Yeah, we talked about evil, which was what we wanted to do.
And I'm very sorry that we did not record it because we were thinking about doing that.
I couldn't get it recorded. You have to pay extra to Zoom to record it.
Do you
really? That is evil, yeah.
That is evil.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
But, and I don't know how much I contributed. There's very little I could say. I was over there just trying to keep everything down.
You were like, I'm just trying to breathe.
Yeah, that's all it was. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to say I was proud of myself. It's not really anything to be proud of.
No.
But I was glad, and doing a 6-pack in an hour, that ain't bad.
Well, here's the thing is some people would say this about you. Not me, but some people would say this about you. For a man of your stature, you are kind of a lightweight, which is good. It means that you can have a couple drinks and be fine, and you don't need any more.
What's a lightweight? What
so
would be
like a cheap date?
No, I know, but I'm saying what's a heavyweight? What? Because I
if you
drank a freaking 6-pack
in
an hour, and
I know,
and you that's not a lightweight.
You were fine.
That's not a lightweight.
But like on your normal regular day, you might have 2 cocktails.
Well, that's not. So I feel like a lightweight is someone who can't handle it, not someone who doesn't do it.
I didn't mean that.
Okay, so if you're saying,
I just meant more of on the cheap date side, meaning, and I don't like that phrase, but meaning that if we were to go out drinking, I might have 5, where you might have 2.
I will not have 2. So if that's what you mean by lightweight, that's for sure.
Okay.
If we go out to drink, I might not have any, and if I have any, it'll be 1. Because I don't drink just to drink. I drink because I like the taste, and I'll make it last through the whole meal, and that's all I need. So I rarely just sit around. Now, I will take that back. Like for my birthday, we went out.
Yeah.
And I had a really, really good cocktail, and I had to have another one.
Because it was yummy.
Yeah, I did have 2 of those. But that's very, very, very rare. Yeah.
I had more than you at that party. It was a good time, though.
Yeah, it was. Well, I wanted to prove I could do it. I wanted to see if I still could do it.
And you did.
I kind of felt that I could. But I know that we've had some beers on this podcast, and like before I even finish the first one, I can feel that I'm kind of swimming.
Yeah,
you know, the alcohol's like, and this I purposely drank. I drank Miller Lite, and I did it purposely because I didn't want to lose. I didn't want to be under the effect of alcohol.
And plus calories.
Yeah, that's true too. But so, and it's probably closer to what I would have drank when I was in college. So,
right.
All of that was part of the plan, and it worked out. So I was very happy. I don't think I will never do that again. In fact, today I don't. That's why we're not doing a live beer review, because the just thought of drinking beer
makes you ill.
I just don't even want it. So I'm taking this week off from the live beer review, and next
which
week,
is fine because I have my cocktail here, and you've got your juice, and we're good. Mm-hmm. And we're just gonna sit here and have a nice chat without a beer, which is fine. Mm-hmm. We can do that. Okay, we're allowed. Mm-hmm. So what else is going on? What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. That's all I have.
That's it.
That's pretty much it. Well, we did. We talked a lot about evil.
Yes.
I don't know that we got anything accomplished other than the fact that
everybody
kind of has everybody has different opinions of what it is and what's important and what it means to them.
And the reason that we didn't get much accomplished, although we did have some really good conversations, the reason that we didn't get much accomplished there is because it's almost impossible to quantify what is evil or to quantify even what is good. You have to, you can give examples all day long of both. You can say, hurting children, hurting animals, and I'm being very broad here, is evil. You could say, giving to charity and helping an old lady across the street, which I will be very soon, is good. Mm-hmm. But those are just examples. Like, can you actually quantify what evil is?
Well, I think my issue through the whole thing was, number one, I don't care. People can have varied ideas of evil. I think it's fine. Mm-hmm. We can differ, and that's fine. My problem that I have is when you do that, then how do you have a standard? So if you're talking about a religious institution that says avoid evil, cling to good, mm-hmm. Then if we all have different viewpoints of what those mean,
exactly, there's no standard.
Then that's kind of a waste. That doesn't mean anything,
right?
So don't you have to kind of have an agreement on what that means before it can actually have a meaning?
Yeah. You have to quantify what it is you want us to avoid, and not just examples, but what is it that, because you can give examples all day long. You can write down thousands of examples of what is evil, what are evil actions, but you can't come up with everything that somebody can actually come up with if they want to hurt somebody. Right. You can't.
Well, there's like top evil things that we can all agree on. We can all say murder is evil.
Sure.
That kind of stuff. And then there's a lot of that kind of stuff at the top we all know. But then it kind of comes down, it's just like some people would say lying is evil. Some people say lying is necessary. So you start getting into gray areas.
Right.
And I just feel like if you're going to have a religion, or if you're going to have some kind of institution that is going to be defined by evil and good, and then you just leave it up to people to define when that is. Mm-hmm. I mean, somebody may be going to hell for evil that someone else doesn't even think is evil. Mm-hmm. They're not going to go to hell for that.
Based on your standards and based on the...
So anyway, that's my only gripe about it. I think we all do have different viewpoints and different ideas, and I think that that's fine. But the problem, it opens up some doors.
I actually asked the question in my morning meeting today, mm-hmm. What is your definition of evil?
Yeah.
And everybody just kind of stared at me blankly for a minute. And then somebody gave an example, and I explained, yes, that's a good example of what evil is, but what is the definition of evil itself?
Yeah.
And then they stared at me blankly for a little while. And then one of them said, we might need to pick this up tomorrow. Because they need time to try and wrap their head around what it is.
Yeah.
And it's difficult.
I will tell you, which I don't think I told you yet, we did get contacted by someone who was really pissed off about a lot of the conversation we had last night. And so I think I'm going to try to make an arrangement for us to do an interview. And we'll interview this person or play the interview next week.
Pissed off about what we talked about in the podcast or the Zoom?
Just the whole thing about evil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, didn't like the evil stuff.
Interesting.
So we'll try to do, I'm going to try to do, and we probably should meet and do a recording of an interview, and then we'll play it next week. Yeah. So this week, I'll try to make arrangements for it.
That'd be great.
It'll be interesting. The person wasn't happy at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a little frightening. I'm not going to ask who it is because it's, we'll figure it out, and we don't want to mention it on the podcast.
Right, because it might not
now.
happen. We might not be able to arrange it, but I think we can.
We might not be able to book this person.
Yeah, we'll do it.
But we're going to eventually we'll get it done.
So that will be next week.
Okay. And maybe we'll get some more, since we were a little bit late putting our last podcast out for reasons that we could not control. We might get some more listener comments.
Yeah, we could.
So we will do a comment show or a section of a show next week.
What do you have? Anything?
Nothing really, other than an update on my new cat.
Okay.
Now, some of you may know, I think I talked about it, I got a cat. Eloise was rehomed to me from a friend. Mm-hmm. And then I've had her for a couple months now, and she's a lover. She's just aggressively cuddly and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. She wants to be all up in your face. And then I thought maybe she needs a little buddy because I hear her in there playing by herself all the time. And my dog, Toffee, tries to play with her, and she's like huge, right? So it scares Eloise a little bit. So the friend that I got the cat from gave me or rehomed another cat to me that they had lived together for a while. And that cat doesn't like me.
I think that cat's just shy.
Very.
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing is that within 2 days, I had him eating treats out of my hand.
Yeah.
But then I pushed him too far and tried to pull him out of his hidey place.
You tend to do that.
I'm a pest. I get that.
You can push a little far.
And I pushed him too hard, and he told me all about it. I'm covered in scratches and scars.
Yeah.
And since then, every time I go to put his bowl in his little hidey spot with food and stuff, he will hiss and spit and swat at me.
Yeah.
Every time since then. So I go in with like a sleeve on, and I do the baby voice, hi, and I try to get him to be comfortable. And I've got a spray now. It's got pheromones in it. Anyways, that's the update.
All the cats in the neighborhood are coming over to your house.
Probably.
Hey, can we come in and breathe the air for a little bit?
Just want to breathe the pheromones.
That's all.
Man.
I don't want to eat any food. Just breathe. That's all.
And Eloise is doing just that. She's going in and eating his food after she eats her own.
Yeah, cats do that.
It's like
hard
a dominance thing.
Well, it's just cats. I mean, they don't know.
Yeah.
We also got a new cat, which is sort of an old cat, but a new cat. An old new cat.
An old new cat.
The cat used to belong to my wife and then went to my wife's former roommate, and then she could not take care of it and gave it back.
After several years.
Yeah, so it's an older cat now, very old. It's an old guy. And
he's a sweet old guy.
Yeah, and he's learning to cope with two new, especially a brand new one.
The kitten.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Monster kitten.
And he... he's learning the boundaries. They're all learning the boundaries, but they all get along really well.
And he's not hiding. He's out in the open.
He was for a few days, but that's over. And they all do well. So, but everybody's got their own different personalities, and you have to kind of figure it out.
Yeah, and that's what a friend of mine told me when I was complaining about it. He said, as you know, our moods change from day to day. So just because you were feeding him treats out of your hand one day, the next day he might swat your eye.
Yeah, and you basically just have to kind of ignore. I sort of learned that with Jenny, my first cat.
Right.
My real cat.
Your cat.
My cat. When I first adopted her, she hid for a week. She would not come out. She was under the sofa. And after about a week, I was like, okay, I'm tired of this. I want a cat. So
yeah, that's why I got a cat.
Yeah. So I remember I got some, I think, little Friskies gravy or something, and put it in a bowl and put it out there. And I mean, immediately she came out and started licking the gravy, and she never went back under there.
What had you been feeding her prior to that?
I think I was just leaving out dry food or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I don't remember. But I just put that out, and she responded immediately. And then she did not go back.
Nice.
But she wouldn't come out of the room. She kind of stayed in that room. But that's better.
Space. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
Sure.
And then one day she came out and she looked and saw my puppy. And that was it. She was just like,
she's hooked.
Is that for me?
Aww.
And she ran down there, and they were best buddies. And she never went back, and it was fine. But it was just time. And the same thing has happened to this old kitty that I've got. You know, he was really shy at first.
Yeah.
We just gave him space, let him do what he needed to do. My wife kept saying, should I bring him downstairs and kind of build a little place for him? And I was like, nope, let him do what he wants to do. He's an older cat. He knows the world. Let him do what he's comfortable with.
It's like, let grandma have that pint of bourbon if that's what she wants, and let her smoke that pack of cigarettes if that's what she wants. She's old, you know?
Well, he's just crashing in the bed with us. So, I mean, he's doing what he wants to do. So that's fine. You just have to kind of give everybody their space.
And I'm working on that.
Don't be too much of a mom.
I am a helicopter mom.
You know.
Sorry.
All right, let's end it. Shall we stop?
Yeah,
we're done.
We don't have a beer.
We don't have a beer
review.
to talk about, which is okay.
That's fine. What we can do is remind you that you can reach us at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. That's our email. And then you can also reach us at thisepicdisaster.com on the internet. That's our page, which I don't know how update it is because I haven't looked at it. Because I'm a loser. And you can also find us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook for sure. All the places. And we will have an interview within the next 2 episodes.
No, I think it's the next episode.
Next episode.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
All right. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
We're going to hunt this person down and be like, why are you so pissed off?
Yeah. And that's something it's sort of a goal anyways to get more interviews. So
yeah, for sure.
At some point we'll do that. But anyway, yeah, we want to say thank you for listening. And we hope that when we do events and things like that you join us. We would love it if you would share episodes on Facebook and your social media whenever we release it. All that stuff helps to tell people about the podcast.
Yep.
If you don't like the podcast, don't talk about it. But if you like it,
talk about it.
Tell people, say, hey, give it a listen. Maybe you'll like it.
Tell everybody.
Yeah.
I had a relative try it out and
we're like, no.
She said she's not into talk radio.
Well, that's basically what it is.
It is what it is. And, some people aren't that into that. And that's fine. But I appreciated them trying it out.
Yeah. All right. So every Monday, new episode. So next Monday, we will have a new episode. But thank you for listening to this episode. And we will talk to you again next Monday.
Have a great week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.